We want to always explain because there is often hidden meaning behind a thought or dream or observation. So I'm saying in your journal, I told Pastor Hector this, sometimes, people will write a little bit and they feel kind of stuck. They say, well, geez, I don't know what else to say. I'm saying get in the habit of explaining. Explain even what seems not to matter that much. It is your explanation that actually grounds a noticing and helps it to deepen your level of awareness. Consider, what makes me think so? Question yourself. Slow down and trust the Holy Spirit to be with you as you explore through reflection. Everybody's seen Wizard of Oz, so I kind of borrowed that little rhythm because, not a singer. Well, reflection is a lot about, that's why I say reasons are more than answers. They're more important. It's the becauses. Okay, so you notice something and you're proud of yourself. Hey, I wrote that in my journal. But how come? Why? Ask yourself, why am I observing and noticing this in this way? Because, clarify, explain. That explains the immediate basis for why you even noticed it. The reason, what is behind that is really not apparent to me at that time. And sometimes with a little pause, and you wait and you don't rush, and it bubbles to the surface. Explanation. What made me think or notice this in the first place? The bottom line, what makes you think so? What makes you think so? And so, focus your attention. It is important in using the strategy of reflections that you focus your attention on something. We're going to practice a little activation strategy a little later when you're going to focus on one of your journal or dream entries. I'm saying focus your attention sort of like it says regarding blah, blah, yakety schmackety. My students used to laugh when I say that, blah, blah, yakety schmackety. But whatever you are focusing on, you might begin regarding whatever. It is surprising to me. Always indicate what you're focusing on, why it surprised you, why it got your attention in a positive or negative way. And then you explain by saying, that is surprising to me because, now that I think about it, because of so and so and so, that's why that's surprising to me. Do you think that kind of reflection would be worth writing down? Because often it is not the kind of thing that occurs to you when you first are writing down whatever happened. You have to kind of like probe and give yourself time and let your subconscious and your spirit get used to giving up that type of privileged information sometimes. Reasons are more important than answers. I'm going to share with you an example. I was walking, this was last week, I walk around the block, it's about a mile, and I got to a point where, honestly, it was as though my vision, my awareness took a picture of these two oak trees. It was like they were framed, and I knew it was the Lord because I walked, it's my usual walking path, right? I had never seen the trunks of these two oak trees. They were about maybe 10 feet apart, but what was really struck me was the canopies joined together as though it was one canopy over two trees. It was so lovely. And I said, wow, how neat that is. And I knew it was prophetic. So I said, I went on back home because I think I went to prayer that morning. The next day, I trotted up the street because it's not too far from my house. I went up there with a camera and I said, I'm taking a picture. I'm going to see what I can get out of this, okay? I took a picture, but when I began to look at it, I began to see more than I saw the first time, which was the two trunks with this huge canopy as though it was over one tree. Notice that I have in parentheses, attract and explain. And this is what I wrote in my journal. This is the second day, because I did write down the vision. I didn't have a dream that night, but I've been checking on a regular basis. I said, God, I'd get up and I said, did I dream? I hadn't had a dream in a couple of days, but that morning, here's this vision of these two trees. So here's what I said. I want to go back to the first one, though. Ooh, wait, 1, 2. This one. Yes, surprise, I see, yes, okay. The next morning, I walked up the street to get a snapshot of the two oaks with intermingled canopies. I call this contiguous canopies. Upon closer scrutiny, I was a bit surprised, and I underline my words because it hit me kind of that way, that one canopy was fuller than the other. I didn't see that the first day, okay? Okay. This probably occurred because I was intrigued from my initial observation. Plus, the trunk of the lesser wasn't straight and it stood kind of off kilter. I took several pictures, but their uniformity remained my prominent impression. So, the first time I wrote down about the two trunks, and then when I went back to take the picture to see what God would show me, I started seeing more. And I wrote it down and I noticed what surprised me, what attracted me. Oops. Wait. Yeah, okay. Here, I am especially grateful that I was aware right away that the Holy Spirit pointed out the scene to me. See, that stuff that got my attention. I knew it was God. And I wrote it in my journal. It was he that showed that to me. I walked past that scene countless times and never noticed how gracefully those canopies met. Honestly, I don't think I would have. I know God was speaking prophetically to me, that things, remember Hector tells us to give that and try to give an interpretation. Things are coming together, so I was really encouraged. And here's the last one. What's really exciting is that I am starting to realize and experience that God is speaking to me, not only through dreams, but through visions and everyday situations as well. What makes me think so is that I am becoming more diligent and focused in my journaling, more expectant and prophetically alert. So I'm hearing from him, yes, through the dreams, but he's also giving me visions. And he's speaking to me in other ways. And I am encouraging you, write it all down.